Welcome to Area DMG.
How are you? Are we all awake and ready for some Sailor Moon action? Yeah! Let's go down the line. In case you guys don't know who we are, let's start at the left.
Hey guys, my name is Jeremy Lee. I am the English voice for the Viz redub and of Sailor Moon Crystal for Sailor Venus.
Hi everybody, my name is Sandy Fox and I'm also in the English Viz dubs of Sailor Moon and Sailor Moon Crystal, and I play Chibiusa and Black Lady.
I'm Lauren Landa, and I'm the voice of Sailor Neptune from the Viz Media dub of Sailor Moon. Of Viz Media and Sailor Moon Crystal. So, yay! I'm forgetting about Crystal. Yay!
It's been so long that you've been hearing about Crystal and haven't gotten to talk about being in Crystal.
I know. It's you know what? I sometimes will forget to talk about projects that I've done because we
You never
always
know if you're allowed.
Exactly. We never know if we're allowed, so we just we sign our souls away essentially when we sign these NDAs, and then we don't know if we're allowed to talk about it, and then we're told, oh, you can talk about it, and it's like, oh, I forgot. Okay.
Does everybody know what an NDA is? Yeah, non-disclosure.
I'm so proud!
I want to know how many people saw the Sailor Moon R or Supers movies in the theater. Awesome.
Now, I know usually you guys, if you guys have been to plenty of panels that I have been to or that I have done, I usually am like, no filming. I honestly hate being filmed. I hate it.
Do you really?
I do. I do not.
Wait, tell me that again.
No!
I'll do better.
Oh my God, I'm hating you right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Lauren Landa.
You can zoom in if you turn the lens.
Oh, yours is just like mine.
Oh yeah, so you guys, I got a brand new camera. It's like I've never had a baby in my entire life, but it's like having a new baby. You know, I have to take great care of it. I don't have to. I mean, unless you count the battery as like feeding it, but it doesn't matter. It's a Canon T6i, so I'm playing around with it this weekend. So if you see me like holding my camera, it's just because I'm trying to get some footage of at my favorite convention ever, NDK.
Trivia for you. No. Does anyone know where the name Canon came from?
No.
It's the deity name for Kuan Yin in Japan.
No way.
Yes. I know, I love it. Just a little trivia, Japanese trivia.
That's awesome. So now, if you guys see me like carrying this around, it's because I'm trying it out, and it's my first time trying this out, so I'm a little nervous. Hopefully, I can make something really cool. But yeah, so. Now I know how it feels. Anyway, so so this is a Sailor Moon Q&A, right? Yes? So you guys provide the questions and we provide the answers. So with that being said, who has questions? Wow, that was
Lots
fast.
of questions.
So fast. Jeremy, you choose someone.
Val, you look so cute.
Yes.
You do?
Thank you.
It's a very different style. I love
It's
it.
the movie Belle.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I loved her wardrobe so much in that movie.
So does that mean you'll be at the Disney Burlesque tonight?
Try to. Maybe
I-
one day I'll get training and join the show.
I think Patrick should be Gaston.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
He teased it, and I was like, dude, don't tease it unless you're willing to be
Yeah,
hooked
right?
in.
Who knows? Maybe Patrick will walk on. No, never mind.
So I've met Laura Lynn a couple times, and I'm sure you met so many faces that I don't know if you remember me or not. But now that I know for sure that the Sailor Moon Crystal voice actors are also doing the redub of the Viz Media, I'm really curious to know, since you're in it, if there's any really major differences you see in atmosphere or even the way the characters present themselves in either series.
Yeah, I mean, for me, classic which is what we call classic and crystal for differentiation between while we're working on it. But crystal, because it's so condensed, and we don't have as much time for the levity that is in classic, I think the tone is a lot more real, and it feels a little bit more cinematic and a little bit more dramatic. And so I think just naturally, for me, Sailor Venus has a little bit more of her serious voice, and so the tone drops a little bit. Just because we don't have the the luxury of the multiple episodes that they'll stretch out an arc. They're like, so by the end of this episode, somebody's dying. It's like, oh, okay, that accelerates things. This is real life. So that's the difference for me between classic and crystal. And I love both. I started as an actor doing film work, and I love doing film. So I loved working on crystal for that because it felt more real. But sometimes you just want to do those fun nurse episodes and like mess with people, or Lauren's favorite, date like 3 guys at once and have to run in between the 2. I've never experienced that before.
We would always be asked, like, do you have a favorite episode? And if you've seen the whole series, what's your favorite episode? And every time we would be asked that, I would say, I know my favorite episode, and I would tell Jeremy, it's when you have to go between Tiger's Eye and Hawk's Eye, and it's like, and you have to go to a couple
so
days.
fun.
And then she later realized, oh, now I see why this is one of my,
The running section between the 2, there's just like a running montage.
Yes.
And Susie's like, do you want to take it piece by piece? Because the tempo changes. And I said, no, I want to do the whole thing and run. So we did one take, and I was like, whoo, I'm a little lightheaded. She's like, yeah, you should be. Have a seat.
Seriously, it's like at least that's what
You were
the
going really, really fast.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's great. So much fun.
But Sailor Venus and Crystal, she's a little more serious, right?
Yeah.
And she has a lot more.
She's
like,
got a lot more at stake, too.
Yeah, responsibility.
Because she's kind of thrown in, which we experienced that in classic as well, but I feel like in classic she's like a kindergarten teacher. She's like, guys, we've got a little more time for you to realize your powers. And then this one, it's like a very serious, like high school, like you guys are graduating next week, I need you to get it together.
Yeah, I would say for my character, there's not as much difference in the tone. Of course, there isn't a whole lot of the campy stuff, but she's still the same age, and the tone of her voice, and like her energy is still pretty much the same because she's kind of the comedy relief in a lot of it. So, yeah, I think it's pretty much the same.
I always think it's interesting to see Chibiusa's story arc, because she is, we first come into the show meeting the main 5, and there are all these young girls that are going through this change in their life. They're becoming the guardians of the universe, essentially. And then Chibiusa comes in, and we start to see her journey from being, just a princess to then turning into a Sailor Guardian.
Yeah.
And it's pretty interesting because we see her go through things that every child or young lady goes through, you know? So it's pretty fascinating, especially in the original, I think, because we see that she, later on in the Black Moon Clan season, she starts to doubt if people really like her, which is where Black Lady comes from. So it's something that we all go through, and it's just very fascinating to see her character growth.
And I love that you said that, because I felt that recording the Black Lady stuff, and it's not about her just becoming evil, it's becoming dark. Like when we go into depression, or we go into like self-hatred and like I'm not good enough, or you know what, and it's just like her own darkness. Of course it's brought on by Wiseman, but it's her own darkness that overcomes her. And you really see it too when she sees Luna P. That one time she says, my friend, and you see her eyes, like it comes back, the light for a minute, and then it goes, So
I want my own Luna P.
I know.
We all do.
I know, right? I want something that can just turn into like an umbrella, and that like, like if it's raining.
Whatever you need,
I know, exactly. Michiru, or Sailor Neptune in Crystal, kind of like what you were saying, Sandy. She's not very different, I think, from the original because she and Uranus are always very calm and collected.
You guys are pretty serious.
We are very serious.
Yes,
I think she's a little more flirtatious in Crystal because she flirts with Mamoru the first time she sees him.
Oh, yeah.
And it's nothing serious. It's like a little fun, flirtatious kind of deal. And I find that
That's just who she is, though.
I know, exactly. But in the original, she has a flirtatious tone to her voice.
Yeah.
But she's never full on like flirts with Mamoru in the original. But what I love about Uranus and Neptune's relationship is that they're very secure in their relationship. So it's like, oh, you can flirt with this person, baby. You fine. You know, it's fine. So it's, and it's yeah. So it's true. But yeah, and I like how there's a lot more. I mean, we all have known that Uranus and Neptune are partners in life and in their destiny. But I think in Crystal we see a little more romantic energy between the two of them, which we get in the original. But I like how we see more of that in Crystal. You know, like there's a scene where they almost kiss, and I was like, oh my god! Like I had the same reaction that every fan had, and I won't lie, like a lot of the other fans, it took me a little getting used to their character designs, just because I grew up with the original, so it took some getting used to.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it for the new animation that it is, and I think it adds a new generation of beauty to that animation.
It's pretty,
Yeah, it's very pretty.
You know, talking about you and Uranus, one of my favorite scenes recording was, I think it was in the original, but I'm in the back seat of the car, and I think Uranus is looking at me through the mirror, and you guys reach over and hold hands. You touch it, and then she blushes and she starts to giggle, and she sees she feels the love, and it's kind of like being in the presence of that love. And for me, I walked away that day and go, damn, that was a good scene. Because you're like, wow, if the whole world could accept that, Chibi Yusa did. You know what I mean? I just felt the love in the room and in the car, and I was like, I love being in the show.
Yeah, and that's it. She's just like, that's love.
Yeah, she's like, this is normal. This is normal, right?
Exactly. I think we all start off with I don't think we start off as having discriminating anybody or prejudice or anything like that. I don't think we start off that way.
No.
So I think that truly shows how pure Chibi Yusa is, which is exactly why she had the purest heart.
Well, that's her power, right? Compassion, empathy, and that purity, that pure of heart. Yeah, so I think that's her superpower. She sees the good in everyone. Mm-hmm.
Well, do you think maybe that's where her darkness came from, is that she wasn't seeing the good in herself?
Yeah.
So her power was being literally used against her.
Yeah.
I do have to say, though, I love Black Lady's outfit.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're all agreeing. We're like, yes!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And those black chandeliers.
Yes!
So good.
Oh my gosh. I remember a long time ago, when I was, 13, 14, there were stickers of each character, right? And there was a sticker, I've never seen it since. There was a sticker of Chibi Yusa as a grown-up, but not in Black Lady clothes. It was like a green sundress. I was like, what? That's so, and I thought maybe she comes out in the series, and it never happened. So, but it was still kind of cool.
Maybe someday.
Anyway, more questions. Sandy, do you want to pick something?
Sure, right there.
Okay, favorite villains from Sailor Moon?
Oh, I hate you so much. Not really, I don't actually.
There's so many.
This is so hard. We nicknamed very early in the season, and we've had other really cool villains since. I love the Amazon trio.
Yes!
But that's a newer one. But my favorite from the very beginning is, because I think it's such a torturous villain, is what we've nicknamed the Katy Perry villain. It's the one with all, she'll trap you in, we were joking around, she would trap you in a donut and be like, eat your way out of it if you're gluten intolerant. The girl was wearing all of the pastries and the candy dress, and I was like, okay, I like my villains. I found if I look at them and go, I would wear that outfit. I was like, which I probably wouldn't, but if I was like more confident and like, you know, maybe in the comfort of my own home, and I'm like, I am, and then would not wear it. But I love all things sweet pastry-wise, but I don't eat them because my stomach is intolerant to a lot of things, so I can have them every now and then. So that villain, I was like, you torturous human. Why would you do this? So she felt like a villain to me. But I can't remember, who was the one, I was talking to you during the trailer, and they showed a costume, and I was like, who are they? I want to wear that. And you were like, would you really? And I was like, oh no, I wouldn't. But I love it.
Which trailer is this? I'm gonna look it up.
Okay. I love the clowns. I actually got to voice Perot, the clown Perot, the little French one. But I love the clown villains that chase Chibiusa and Sailor Moon around in the theater. I mean, they do that theater thing forever. But I love the little clown villains. Because everybody's afraid of clowns, right? And they kind of played off on that. And I just love that how many of the monsters and villains are women. I think that is super cool and ahead of its time to write that. So hard to decide.
Y'all, listen. Y'all know that.
Sailor Moon Wikipediaing the villain.
Yes!
Is it Wickedpedia?
All right, listen. Y'all know that if you guys have been to one of my Sailor Moon panels before, or just any of my panels in general, y'all probably know by now that villains are my thing, that I love villains. And I've always said Sailor Moon has some of the best anime villains ever. And so, that's such a difficult question, which I don't actually hate you, but I'm secretly like, I do. No, there's no hate in this room. No,
It's like picking your favorite evil child.
It is. So
I hate them all equally.
So I have quite a few favorites, and for different reasons. One, even though it wasn't in the manga, I love the Makai Tree saga. I love that. I'm really sad that they didn't have it in Crystal, but I understand it wasn't in the manga. But I thought it was awesome. I love the Black Moon Clan. When I was a teenager, I had a big old crush on Rubius. And then I was like, nah, he's a jerk. Nah, man. And then I ended up, so Prince Damon is different in the original compared to Crystal. In Crystal, he's like full-on evil. In the original, he's like, I just want to protect my family. I just want to get my planet back. Oh, hello, Usagi. And he's like, he's full-on, I don't know if he's in love with her or in lust with her. I don't know.
Lust.
Probably, is it lust? Do you think it's lust?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, power, it's like a way to control. To take power is to like seduce,
Yeah.
Power is seductive, right?
I think maybe that's the case in, oh, did you find it?
No, the whole time I was like, I think it's the Witches 5, but it's not. So that's why, okay.
Are you thinking of the Amazon Quartet?
No.
No?
Because that's,
Is it the ones in the bikinis?
No.
There's like, anyway, Black Moon Clan.
No, because I would not wear that.
And, and this, okay, so who has not seen the entirety of Sailor Moon?
Haven't seen Star.
You guys, it's been out for like 22 years. No, I'm just messing with you. Okay, so I don't know if I should say that because it's in the last season, so I won't say it.
It'll be out next year, probably.
I don't know. We never know until we get the call to go in to record it. So,
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, love the villains. Queen Beryl's awesome.
Queen
Beryl's really cool. And Cindy Robinson.
Here.
Yeah.
She's here. Yes, the original Queen Beryl's here, and the original Luna. So
yeah.
I've been to a few conventions with Keiko, and she is unbelievably sweet. And who was at opening ceremonies? Okay, is her daughter not the cutest thing ever? Like, it's ridiculous.
First of all, she is a Japanese Julie Andrews.
Yes, she is. She's
and her
gorgeous.
daughter is just like a princess.
I know, it's ridiculous. Anyway, so villains, Sailor Moon villains. We love our Sailor Moon villains.
Yes.
So,
Good question.
Maybe one day I'll figure out who.
in the back.
Okay, my question is, when I know you guys are actually going to be filming or recording of voices for the Sailor Moon Stars series, because are you guys going to be doing the same voices on the thing? Because I know they're going to redo all the original voices on the series. Are they going to do the Sailor Stars in English finally?
We've been dubbing the original series for how many years now? 4 years?
Since 2014.
Since 2014. So all the original dub voices have already been changed, but season 5, which is Stars, has never been dubbed before.
Are they going to do it by chance? Or are they
We've been told so, but as far as recording it, like when we're gonna record it, we have not been told.
Yeah.
So as far as we know, we can assume that yes, we are going to do it. I haven't heard anything else. But as far as when, I have no idea.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
My favorite scene on the Sailor Moon Stars is when they're, Sailor Moon, before she transferred into the airplane scene.
Yeah.
And her friends are all like climbing up, and then the enemy's knocking them off with us.
Yeah.
And the the guys, singers, they didn't believe her that she was Sailor Moon. She was telling them, but they didn't listen to her.
Yeah, the Starlights are kind of stubborn that way. they're very stubborn that way. But thank you for your question.
I hope you get to do it.
Charity.
Oh. Yes. Whoever. Yes. Yeah.
Mine's kind of twofold. One,
Okay.
a bit of a follow-up to one of your guys' earlier, and it's focused to you, Miss Fox,
Oh, okay.
Ox, and then the other one's for all three of you. One, Miss Fox, how did you form your voice from Chibi Moon or Chibiusa to Black Lady?
Okay.
And the one for all of you is, have you read the mangas?
No. Do you like them?
And what do you think of them?
Oh, okay. So I'll answer. I haven't read the mangas, and wasn't as familiar with the series Sailor Moon before I started recording it. So I've actually been experiencing my character's journey through my sessions, like not knowing what's happening yet. I didn't study it. I didn't study the old dub. I just wanted to be in present time and experience what was happening next with her. As far as the voice, when we get the audition, everyone was already cast except for Chibi Moon and Black Lady. So I got the audition, we do it through email, and so I didn't listen to the old dub, and Chibiusa is very close to my natural voice, right? But for Black Lady, my first audition they sent back and they said, she's way too evil. You have to know, for 27 years, I voice every little Sumomo, every little cute character in the world, and no one ever throws me an evil character. So I was so excited to hear, she's too dark. Can you lighten her up a little bit? Yeah, so it's just something, I just lower my voice a little, and yeah, Black Lady.
It sounds so, I
so
personally
cool.
love it.
I
I
do.
love your Black Lady voice.
Well, here's where the history comes in. I had to learn to do this. I used to be a singer for years, and I actually sang all the songs on the Magic Night Ray Earth CD. And I sang, and actually I think there's one of those CDs, they're not for sale anywhere, but in the auction, so you guys will have to check that out.
Cool.
But I also sang Freckles, the opening theme song to Rurouni Kenshin. So that was one of the things I did in the early 90s. But I've always had saying, I have a big range as a singer. But a funny story real quick is that people will call my house all the time, solicitors, and they will ask to talk to my mother. And so I'm like, if I don't want to talk to them, I'll just go, hi, I have a Barbie, do you have a Barbie? And then if it's a serious business call that I have to talk to them for some reason, I'll go, okay, hold on, let me get my mom. Mom! Hi, can I help you? voice and that voice. So
amazing.
Black Lady's like my full-on business.
She's the business. She takes care of business.
Yeah, she takes care of
She
business.
does.
Okay, that answer.
I have not read. I mean, I've read a little bit of the manga, but just the maybe first volume of it. But yeah.
I read the Sailor V manga because I
Knows
was
thyself.
well, when I got cast, for the longest time, they didn't tell us who we were playing. And they just said, we are going to cast you in
could
Sailor V.
easily guess who the characters were when you saw the pictures, right?
Wait, what?
When you were auditioning for the show.
No, when I auditioned for the show, I auditioned for everybody, and then they called me back for Sailor Moon and for Luna. And so then they said, you got cast. And I was like, oh. But they didn't say who we were playing because they didn't even trust us with that information.
Right.
Yeah, it's top secret.
So I had to sign this contract where I'm like, sure, I'll do, they told us we had to do AX, and we had to do, we had to be available for whatever else, and then available for one other thing. And I was like, yeah, sounds great. And I was on my way to my rehearsal dinner for my wedding, so I was like, sure, I'm in Sailor Moon. And so I was too scared to be like, can I ask who I'm playing? For fear they would be like, ripping it up, right? Hire someone else. And so I didn't ask anybody, and so we didn't know who was working on the show, didn't know who we were playing. And then Stephanie Shea, I saw her at a session, she's like, oh, I'm going over to Studiopolis to work on, it got really quiet, and I was like, are you working on that one thing? She's like, yes. I saw Christina V at a convention, and she's like, congratulations. And I was like, oh, you too? I mean, yeah. And she goes, I was congratulating you on getting married. And I was like, thank you. Yeah, about that. And then she got scared that maybe she had said too much. And so like when we finally got to announce it at AX, everyone was like, who is everybody? Because we only know who we are, they won't tell us. So I found out that I was Sailor Venus when I went to my first session, and I only had an hour because they just wanted me to like just jump in and say Sailor V for like one of the eye catch moments. And so I was so excited. I went to the store. I was like, what can I buy at Barnes and Noble? And so I was like, I want all the Sailor V. And then I was like, why are there only 2? So that's now my cousin. She's 15 now. So when she came to visit me when she was 11, she was like, what's this? And I was like, yes, that's her first manga.
And then like 2 years later, Erica Mendez and I
That was
and
hilarious.
Christine Marie Cabano showed up at AX backstage, and everyone was like, what are you guys doing here?
Yeah, because you showed up and you go, we're just here to be moral support.
You guys.
Yeah,
And then Stephanie totally called it. She was like, you're in this, aren't you?
You were wearing teal nail polish.
Teal shirt. Yeah,
I was like teal.
No, I just wanted to be colorful today.
And I mentioned it to you. I go, why are you wearing teal? You always wear black. And you go, oh, you know, just spicing things up.
And then we were announced and we walked on stage. It was really good. Kind of funny story about that. And then we'll take more questions because we only have 10 minutes left. So I know they just gave us the 10-minute warning. I know, it's crazy.
Where is Pluto? We need some time.
So when Erica and I were first announced on stage, before we went out, I said, Erica, we should do something, something sweet, because we're Uranus and Neptune.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, I agree. And I said, well, like, should we go out holding hands or something? And she's like, yeah, that might be a good idea. And I said, is it okay? Can I kiss you on the cheek? And she's like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, okay. So we walk out on stage, and I give her a little kiss on the cheek. Well, someone very sweet in the audience was recording at the time, and they clipped that, and they put it on YouTube, and the title, I believe, is I Ship Lauren Landa and Erica Mendez. And I'm like, that's amazing. And then fast forward to like a year later, I was walking around Anime Los Angeles. Erica was a guest there, and I was sitting in her panel. And nobody knew I was there. I was in the very front row, where where this lovely lady is sitting, and I was in the very front row. Nobody knew I was there. And this one girl raises her hand. She's also in the front row. She's probably like a little closer to where you are, Sharon.
Yeah.
And she says, "What do you think of people shipping you and Lauren Landa together?" And Erica's like, "Actually, funny story, Lauren's actually here," and everyone like lost it. And the girl just squealed all of a sudden. And then like she came up to me after the panel, she was like, "Hey, I just want to tell you that I was the one that posted that YouTube."
Oh my God.
That's awesome. She's like,
That's hilarious.
She was apologizing for it. I'm like, why are you apologizing? That's amazing. So it was really
So what's
funny.
your ship name? Lorica or
Yeah,
Aaron?
what is it?
There's too many errands. There's too many. I don't know. I might have to talk to her.
You gotta
about
consult
that. Yeah,
her.
we gotta consult her.
That's
it's,
nice.
It's a team effort.
It is.
You know.
You
So.
gotta
I
check
like
with your friends.
Larica.
Larica.
She's. You know what? I call her my waifu, but
She is hilarious.
she doesn't want to be my waifu. It's fine. Whatever. It's fine. Anyway, more questions. Sandy, can you pick someone?
Can you guys do your transformations?
Sure.
Sure. Mine will sound a little weird because I have a little bit of a cold, but Venus Power Makeup! I wish I could paint my nails. Right? That's my favorite part of the whole, no, there's more things I like about that, but every time the nail polish changes, I'm like, man, what a gift.
The best part about the Outer Guardians is that we get nails and lipstick. Or lip gloss.
Man.
Sorry.
I would like some lip gloss. Maybe in another future season of Crystal. We can put in a request.
All right. Moon Prism Power Makeup!
Neptune Planet Power Make Up! Yay! Okay. Red headband.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yay!
You guys are all right with taking at least some non-Sailor Moon questions, right?
Sure. Yeah.
One question for Jeremy and one for Lauren. One's not. For Jeremy, this is nothing to do with Sailor Moon, but this is actually revolving around you as Komaru Naegi from Danganronpa.
Sweet.
How exactly did you feel playing the character, and did you feel sort of upset when you couldn't reprise the role for DR3?
So, for the animation?
Yeah, for the anime.
So, when I got cast in the game, it was very top secret, and they were working on the anime at the same time. So, they did not know that the game was being done. They did not know that a Komaru existed, so it was one of those things of, oh, I guess we just get to cast a brand new character. And then while we were working on the game, they're like, hey, we already have a... But, you know, Alexis is one of my really good friends, and she took that role, and she did a great job. But yeah, I love working on the game. It was the very first time I got to do a game where we had cutscenes that we got to match the flaps for. And so that was really exciting to get to do a little bit of anime with the game, and there were so many different animation styles in the game. And I got to work with Amanda, who is a really good friend of mine, and she is hilarious. And when that game was over, I was really sad because I loved getting to play that character. She's so fun.
That makes sense.
I kept saying over and over again, why does she keep saying she's just a normal high school girl and she doesn't know if she's capable of this? You have gotten through this whole game, sister. You are capable of anything. So, I love her.
But now my question for Lauren.
Yes.
I'm sure you've probably been asked this many times. How does it feel constantly being reminded of being cousins with Erica?
We honestly just, when I say we, I don't mean just myself and Erica. I mean like the whole cast, the new and the old. We all actually have a good laugh about it. It's pretty silly when you think about it, but a lot of the original cast members actually, because I've had this conversation with them as well, because I've done panels with them and I've been to conventions with them. The original actress for Sailor Neptune, Barbara Radke, she even said, she's like, I knew. She's like, I knew. And I was like, yeah. But it was a different time. And the, shh, guys, can you quiet down over there? Thank you. Sorry, it's really loud. You know, at the time, we were very lucky because Sailor Moon has been out for over 20 years. So we knew what was going to be happening in the show. We were able to preview everything. But back then, they didn't have that kind of access. So they didn't know what was going on. And I think the higher-ups kind of made a hasty decision, like, well, we don't know if we can do this, so we're going to have to do this. And of course, as we all know, that didn't really work out very well. So, but it's very funny, and we just, you know, both Eric and I really wanted to bring life to the actual relationship that Uranus and Neptune have, and that's the beauty of the redub, is that we're able to do that with every relationship in this show, you know, which I think is fantastic. We didn't change anything. We kept it things as the original Japanese intended. So, but in answer to your actual question, Erica will always be my waifu. Let's take one more very quick question because they gave us a 5-minute warning. How about all the way in the back? I see a hand. Yes, hello. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, it's a Neptune. Hello.
I wanted to know how you guys felt about the relationship that the Sailor Scouts had with the generals in the past.
Okay, I'm sorry. You know what? You start because you actually were one of the main 5.
It broke my heart so much, especially in Crystal. When we were working on that, it was like all too real, and the whole time I was like, can you please get your life together? We love you! And Amanda, I was talking to Amanda, and I go, look, Amanda was like, we need a boyfriend. I was like, well, we had great ones. They got corrupted by evil or something. What can you do in that situation? It's a toxic relationship. And they get it together. So I feel a little heartbroken about it, even now. I look back on that and I'm like, if only you could have just gotten out of your darkness, we could have had a good thing going. But no, everybody's got their own path. Yada, yada, yada.
Let me tell you something, okay? I was watching the show, and when I first read the manga, the first manga novel volume, I saw the picture of the 4 generals and the Sailor Guardians together, and I was like, oh my god.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And then Crystal had to go and mess everything up. Like, and for those of you who don't know, or because Sandy wasn't sure, so I had to explain it to her.
Yeah, I was.
The generals get their memories back after being evil for an entire season, and they see their loves, the Sailor Guardians, in front of them. Kunzite even looks at Venus, and he's like, Venus. Like he remembers, and then they die! They die!
Too late.
It's awful, and I felt so, I'm still sour about it. I'm so super salty about it. I was like, that is awful. Anyway.
That's it.
Well, look. Oh my gosh.
Well, we hate to end on a death note.
I know.
This weekend, other panels, come by, say hello.
Oh my God. If you have stuff for us to sign, please come to the autograph signings, guys. Please come check out the charity auction.
There's
some really cool stuff.
Sailor Moon stuff. Yeah. But we love you guys. You are the best fans in the world.
Thanks, guys.